Ever episode of Rise and Shine with Sami and Sunny. I'm Sami Hoffman.
And I'm Sunni Civic-Kumar.
First, let's take a look at how the weather's looking outside. It seems that the warm weather from yesterday is carried over into today. I do see some wind from those leaves though, so maybe pack a jacket and some layering today.
We're going to get into weather soon, but we begin now with our top 3 stories of our arts and lifestyle coverage, beginning with Dreamville.
So this festival wrapped this weekend and had headliners SZA, 50 Cent, J. Cole, and Nicki Minaj. I'm so jealous that you got to go. What was it like?
It was amazing. I didn't know anybody going in except one person, and I felt like I made so many friends. It was a huge community. Everyone there was so excited to see literally anyone who was on stage.
And did you have a favorite performer out of everyone?
I'm kind of biased because I came in a huge SZA fan, so it was obviously going to be SZA. Her voice was amazing, and her stage presence was unmatched.
Well, while you were at Dreamville, I was at the theater seeing the highly anticipated Monkey Man film, which is released on Friday and in theaters now. Oscar nominee Dev Patel teams up in this film with Jordan Peele to make his first directorial debut. Patel also plays a triple threat here, starring, directing, and writing for the film. The movie features Kid, a young man who sets out on a path of vengeance against the corrupt elite who murdered his mother. It continues to rule with an iron grip. The story is based on the legend of Hanuman, a Hindu god of wisdom, strength, and courage.
I haven't seen it yet, so how was it?
I really liked it. I will say, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, we've seen films like this before. You know, it's a classic film of vengeance, and you know, it's a really well done action film, but you know, just exciting action sequences. But I felt like, you know, I've seen something like this. But then the more time I spent with the film, I learned that I missed so much about it, and I think there's a lot more to the film than the surface level. The friends I saw it with, we were sending each other articles like, oh, you need to check this out. So the film has a lot to do with old stories in Hinduism and a lot with the start of Diwali, which I just thought was kind of this festival of light, but there's a lot more to it. And so I think the more time you spend in this, it's kind of the more you'll get out of this film.
Well, I grew up reading the Hanuman story on a comic book, so I'm excited to see the movie version and to see a Jordan Peele movie because I've never seen them because I don't do horror.
Yes, I know you don't do horror, which brings us to our last point. I know you don't do country music, but Beyonce is bringing many people on board with Cowboy Carter. So I've always liked country, but for people like you who are historically skeptic, I think it takes a kind of special pop country fusion to get them on board, and Beyonce is leading the way with this album. She didn't go alone. She also brought Miley Cyrus on the album and Linda Martell, who was the first Black woman to perform on the Grand Ole Opry stage in Nashville, Tennessee. She also has inspired other artists to follow suit, like Ed Sheeran, Lana Del Rey, and Post Malone, all teasing a possible switch to country.
And I just want to say, I love Cowboy Carter. I especially love the track with Miley Cyrus. I feel like their voices blend so well together. And my favorite song is definitely Jolene.
I have to say my favorite track is Ya Ya. I think having the Beach Boys on a country album by a pop artist and then making it catchy and original, I'm so impressed by it.
Beyonce is one of a kind. I have to say it. But she's not the only one.
Yes, you told me that there's a new country artist in town with the UNC country song?
Yep. Gary Frost didn't go to UNC, but he did get his heart broken by a girl from UNC, maybe. I don't think his girlfriend went to UNC either. But that didn't stop him from making a song full of UNC basketball references, and I need to know what other people think about this. So our pit reporter, Maggie Hungate, talked to students on what they think of the new single.
Thank you, guys. This is Maggie on the pit asking students whether they've heard UNC by Gary Frost and what they think about it. Okay, first, can you just tell me, have you heard UNC by Gary Frost?
Yeah, I haven't sat down and listened to all of it, but I've heard part of it.
Yes, I have.
I have. I've been seeing it on my Instagram reels a lot.
Absolutely, yes.
What are your general first thoughts on it?
I like how he fully embraces the UNC gimmick. I like how literally every single part is about basketball or about the color or about the location and everything. I think that's really fun. I'm a little confused by the conceit of it. But I think it's great. It's not going to replace some of the other like Chapel Hill songs, but that's okay. It doesn't have to.
I thought it was pretty cool that they were laying the school back to the school, and I kind of like it. I like it. I think it's catchy.
I thought the chorus was kind of catchy, but it was also kind of like funny how like it was all like references about UNC. I felt like it was a little extra.
Well, when I first heard it, I thought it was a little bit of a ploy to pick up on North Carolina fans to listen to the song, and I didn't really like it. Those are my first two thoughts.
So would you recommend it to the student body to go out and try and listen to it?
Absolutely, I would. It's really fun listen. I just had a bad immediate opinion because I'm a skeptic.
So as we heard, a lot of students think it's a little quirky, but it's a good listen. I personally think it's very fun. Is it my type? Maybe, maybe not, but definitely worth a listen. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Maggie. I am so glad to know everyone else is thinking about this. It also looks really sunny out there in the pit, which brings us to the weather. Let's take a look at this week's weather forecast.
It's looking like spring in Chapel Hill with warm temperatures all week. Of course, we have the classic North Carolina spring with cool temperatures in the evenings, making sure we always layer or regret wardrobe choices. Pack a raincoat and umbrella on Thursday, as there is a chance of thunderstorms, but we can enjoy clear skies all weekend.
I am so excited for the warm weather and to sit in the pit and just watch people.
Yes.
When we come back,
I know that the quad is going to be absolutely packed all week, and I'm excited to see that.
yes, great outfits too. And that's why, when we come back, we'll hear another forecast, but in fashion.
Stick with us.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Today, we face an unprecedented crisis. Tens of millions of refugees have been forced from their homes. But you can make a difference. Turn disruption and despair to hope and opportunity. Even small amounts make a big difference. Provide shelter, support, or jobs in your community. The more we understand, the greater sense of belonging we create. Act now. Visit supportcrisisrelief.org.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine.
Like Sami just said, it is finally warm here in Chapel Hill, and now that the winter is over, it's time to dress up. I'm personally very excited, and fashion forecaster Maggie Buck is here to talk about what to wear this spring. Maggie?
Good morning, and welcome to the Fashion Forecast. Today, I'll be talking about the spring trends for 2024. I've been seeing lots of white maxi skirts and white dresses, which is a common closet staple for the spring, but I've been seeing it out a lot recently, especially when it's styled. Like how it pairs perfectly well with a leather jacket or a denim jacket for those chilly spring evenings. So you can throw on a denim jacket and a pair of jeans and achieve this trendy double denim look. This has really been taking off in many different ways. This is a more high fashion example, and this is more relaxed and casual, and they're just perfect for spring. And another hot item right now are linen pants, especially in this blue and white stripe pattern. These flowy, lightweight pants are great for warmer days and the cooler nights that spring may find. And the ice blue color pairs really well with this new, trendy, popular butter yellow color. This pairing is super hot right now and helps you achieve that perfect spring pastel palette. And finally, these tie in the front tops have been very trending right now, and they're perfect for spring because they're layered, and it's just great for the season. And I will personally definitely be following all of these trends this season. That's all I have. Back to you.
Much, Maggie. Yellow is my favorite color, obviously, so I'll definitely be keeping my eye out for butter yellow this spring.
Many of these trends are purchased for TikTok's shop feature. Rise and Shine reporter Meredith Kirsten investigates the rising popularity of this new way of shopping.
With the uprise of popularity for the social media app TikTok in recent years, a new form of online shopping has been created. Powered by the app's unique discovery engine, TikTok Shop enables brands and creators to showcase and sell unique products directly on their TikTok platforms. Creators are able to engage with their audience by making advertisement-style videos and selling items for typically very low prices, although the platform has gotten some mixed reviews.
I had ordered from the TikTok shop many times before, but this last time that I ordered something, my card got hacked. It was after I even got the thing, and I noticed it about 2 weeks later that there were purchases on my card that I didn't do, and so I had to get a new card.
I bought something off TikTok shop like 3 months ago. The product came in like a week or so, and it was good quality. The packaging was fine, and I use it every day.
I bought something off the TikTok shop, which was a projector. It looked pretty reliable when I ordered it, but I never got a notification about it, and it never came in.
Over 55 million TikTok users in the US have purchased at least one thing from the online shopping platform. With recent threats of a TikTok ban, creators, owners, and consumers are all at risk of losing the resource of TikTok Shop. I'm Meredith Pearson reporting.
Thanks, Meredith. If you're worried about spending too much on the app, we've got you covered. Money Talks with Maddie tells us how to keep away from quick purchases.
Good morning, Tar Heels, and welcome to Money Talks with Maddie, your go-to source for practical financial insights and strategies. In this week's episode, I want to talk about the common financial pitfall that affects many of us, impulse spending. Did you know that 94% of Americans admit to impulse spending, with Gen Z leading the pack? Market research firm GWI found that we're 17% more likely to hastily press purchase than the average person. So here are some tips on how to regain control over your impulses and protect your wallet. First, be a conscious spender. Pay attention to the mood you're in when you're feeling like spending. Then there's what I call the 24-hour rule. If you're considering a non-essential purchase over $50, sleep on it. Personally, I've never let myself memorize my debit card number, and I don't save my card information on my computer. This means that every time I want to buy something, I have to get up and go get my card. Call me lazy, but it usually works in fending off impulse spending. Lastly, try sticking to a shopping list to hold yourself accountable when you're looking to spend. Steering clear of impulse spending is the #1 way to avoid debt and build a brighter financial future. That's all for this week's episode. See you next time on Money Talks with Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. Something that always gets me is Apple Pay. It's literally the press of a button. I've gotten way too comfortable with it.
I have the perfect solution for that. Lose your phone.
Oh yeah, just to be less dependent, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back, we're going to cover some community events happening this weekend.
And I'll sit down with Jeffrey Mianza to hear about Playmaker's new play, The Game.
And musical guest Bill Moore will bring Piedmont Bluegrass to Chapel Hill. Stick with us.
What's up? Name's Chet Riley. Been vaping for about 5 years, I think.
What about other people? What do they think about vaping?
Definitely on the same page as me. I mean, everybody does it.
Yeah, it's giving just kind of sleazy, sketchy, creepy. I don't want to be with him.
I think he's just trying to be cool. Like, he's forcing it too much. Like, it just looks sad at that rate.
He seems a little insecure. He seems like he's fronting a little bit. So that's just my perspective.
I see the vape, and personally, I'm just like, as someone who's in healthcare studying nursing, I'm like, oh, it's just really unhealthy for you and can really cause permanent damage to your lungs.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. We've got a full week of community events, starting off with Clyde Fest. This festival is on April 14th from 12 to 5 p.m., rain or shine, and it takes place at the Chatham County Agriculture and Conference Center. The Kids Folk Art Fest is now in its 22nd year. Kids will have the opportunity to get knee-deep in screen-free, art-filled fun with activities like painting, art booths, and carnival games. There will also be musicians, dancers, and other performers to entertain kids and mom and dad alike, and plenty of food trucks to keep bellies full. Thanks to Connie Fenner State Farm, the event is completely free. Next, we have Arts Everywhere Day, which is Friday featuring workshops and free food and prizes. You can check out student collections at 6 p.m. on Upper Quad and engage with different kinds of art through an online scavenger hunt. This event takes place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Finally, we have UNC Pride Week. Enjoy games, art events around campus, and food, ending with a pool party on Friday from 8 to 10 p.m. at Bowman Gray Memorial Pool. Now, joining us in studio is Jeffrey Manza from Playmakers Theater to talk about the new show, The Game. Sunny?
Thanks so much, Sami. I'm here now with the Associate Art Director of Playmakers, Jeffrey Mianza, here to talk about the new play, The Game, that's premiering on April 13th. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
First, tell me a little bit about the game, what the premise is, what you think is the most exciting part.
The play, we asked her a couple years ago to take on an adaptation of Aristophanes' Lysistrata, which in that scenario, it's about a group of women during the Peloponnesian War who withhold sex from their husbands in order to stop the war. And in our version, it's a group of women who are gathered together to stop their partners playing what is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game called The Game. And so they go through a series of different tactics to try and get their partners' attentions back. And it focuses on two characters, Alyssa and Homer, who are at that sort of late 30s part of their life and deciding if they want to have a baby. He's lost his job. He has become, as a form of escape, has become obsessed with the game. And she just misses him and wants him back in her life.
Could you tell me more about the design elements of the show? You said that obviously technology is a huge part of the play. How did you make that come to life on stage?
Yeah, it is really, it's an affluent home outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, but it is deeply inspired by Greek architecture. So it'll feel classical when you first walk in with this living room in the middle of it. So it is a little sort of like, Mo?
What do you hope people are saying when they walk out of the theater?
I think what Alyssa is chasing and what Homer is chasing throughout the play is connection. And I think that I hope that folks walk away from it being like calling their best friend or calling their partner or reaching around and grabbing the hand of their partner and saying, just finding that connection, physical or otherwise, because I think, as much has been written and spoken about how technology can separate us and distance us from one another, I think that the hope is that it's just a tool and it's up to us to determine how we use it, and that ultimately the thing that sustains us is our relationships to other people.
I think that's an especially relevant message now.
I think so too.
Post-pandemic.
I think so too.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. The Game will be at Playmaker Theaters starting April 13th. You can buy tickets on the website or call or visit the theater to buy tickets. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining our first ever episode of Rise and Shine. Playing us out is Bill Moore, a singer-songwriter inspired by old Piedmont-style music. His album, New Piedmont Style, released earlier this year. You can catch the whole performance on our website and social media. Take it away, Bill.
My name is Bill Moore, and this is a kind of a North Carolina old-time tune I wrote called Oh Honey. When you forget things, I remember. The leaves are changing like burning embers. Oh, honey, it be the death of me. Play that music that Willie Mac tell, all them songs that you sing so well. Oh, honey, it be the death of me. We're always waiting when we are busy. It's hard to stand it when you aren't with me. Oh, honey, you be the death of me. Let's go out walking, let's run and hide. People can go out, let's stay behind. Oh, honey, you be the death of me.